our channel, A Trade of You. I'm your girl, Amy.
And I'm one.
And today's guest is my good sis, Miss CEO.
Yeah, honey.
Mother, author. I mean, you do so much. The one, the only, Chantal. Okay. But that's actually my nickname for her. I'll call you Miss CEO. And she just laughs like,
Yes, I am. So, how are you today, first and foremost?
I am good. I'm glad to be here. I'm honoured to be here. So
Oh,
yeah.
bless ya.
this has nothing to do with the interview, but your eyes look so pretty.
They're sparkling, aren't they?
Yeah, they look really nice. Sorry, I was distracted.
Okay, so, Chantal, tell us about yourself.
Okay, as you said, my name's Chantal. I go by the name CSG Poetry on my social media. I am a writer. I'm a poet. I am a mom. As you just said, I'm a wife. I'm a Christian, and I do all of those things mixed together.
You CEO.
Yeah.
You get it now? You get the title?
Superwoman.
Okay. So tell us more about like your background as in what it is that you're doing now, like with writing. When did you realise that you wanted to go into writing?
I never wanted to go into writing.
Oh,
Really?
I wasn't the best at English in school at all. I had an issue with reading out loud at school. I got a terrible, terrible grade in English in college. I just didn't want to be a writer. It never was something I wanted to do. I wanted to have my own makeup company. Do you remember that?
which you did. That's why I couldn't. She did have her own makeup company, Miss CEO.
Yeah, that's all I wanted. That's all I dreamed about. That's all I wanted to do. So I set up my own makeup company, and that's what I wanted to do. Then I felt like the day I got home from the photo shoot for my website, I had everything ready to go, and I felt like kind of, as I said, I go to church. I found like God was saying that He's not happy with it, so I was happy with it. I was excited, but I just felt like a dull feeling inside, so I couldn't celebrate it.
Yeah.
And then it just kept nagging me, and then I felt like God was saying, I want you to write about your journey. I was like, no. That's the driest thing ever. I don't want to do that. I want to have my makeup business. Is what I want. I don't want to write. But like the thought of it, God's voice was so strong that I couldn't pursue it. And a lot of people didn't understand. They were saying, why would you do that? Why would you want to stop doing that to do some writing, which doesn't really
God's plan and your plan. It's
Yeah.
two different plans.
Two different plans. I'm not going to lie, it was a hard slog because I was very upset with God. I felt like, how could you do this to me?
Yeah.
I'm giving away this great, exciting business for becoming a writer.
Yeah.
So dry. So dry. And how I'm going to make money off that is just awful. I just don't want to do it. But then the more experience I realised that the more I started to write. And with my youth leader as well, she asked me to write something, and that kind of spiraled things on for me. So I started to write a bit about my journey. I was quite closed with what I was writing. But then I started to write for myself, not for my website or other people.
Yeah.
I started to write to help me. And I started to, once I got that out there, people kind of really were receptive to it.
Yeah.
And I felt that my field for writing was to write about the things that people in the church that sit in the pews might not discuss as a woman.
Yeah.
Like issues like, I know that a lot of churches do talk about low self-esteem now
Yeah.
and stuff like that, but I felt like writing about that, how I felt about that, about myself, how I watched my friend who's a Christian woman be faithful to God but still experience being cheated on by a husband, still experience going through a divorce. And people think that, oh, just because you're in church you don't experience those type of things, or you don't talk about them,
Yeah.
or you stay together for as long as you can,
Yeah.
like that kind of stuff. And I thought, oh, okay, let me start writing about that. So I started just to put some stuff together, and I realised after I continued to write, I had like a whole 3 books.
Wow.
So I was like, okay, what am I going to do with this? So I just kind of put it together, put some of it out there. Obviously, I didn't put other people's stories out there without getting permission. I didn't use any names and so forth. and it's just spiraled from there. Yeah,
Oh,
it's spiraled from there.
That's so good.
That's great.
So guys, I just want to show you the beautiful book by Chantelle. I'm going to try and bring it a little bit closer so you guys can see. Get your hard copy. Available at Amazon and where else?
Amazon, that's it.
That's it. But go to Amazon. There it is.
Yeah.
I'll leave it in the background. Looks so pretty.
You want to say the name of the book as well?
Yep, the book is called She Poetic Pages from Her Diary.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So, Chantal, you write and you do poetry. So,
Yeah.
do you have a love for poetry? And if so, when did you discover your love for poetry?
I think it started when another thing happened, like, as you know, I like to wear makeup. I wanted to do the whole makeup thing. I felt like God was saying that, stop wearing makeup for a while. I want you to see
I remember that.
you for yourself,
Mm-hmm.
how I've created you, and just to appreciate that. And I was
Yeah.
like, no, God, mm-mm.
Not today.
No. And again, it was just, I could hear it over and over again. So I stopped wearing makeup. And that included going to work, included with weddings happening as well in that time, not wearing makeup to a wedding. And wedding is when you want to just look, you know, not like the bride, but you want to look, yeah. And that was, I found it really difficult. And I was really angry at God about it. And I was really, I'm just being honest, I was really angry about it because if back then I wore makeup every day and even doing school runs and meetings as well at work, and then I had to experience people saying, "Oh, are you alright? Are you ill?"
Wow.
Yeah.
The audacity.
Diane.
And it's not, that wasn't their fault, and I couldn't be angry at them because that's the way I present myself
Yes,
to people
yeah,
every day.
of
When they
course.
see you just switch like that, they get confused.
Yeah, I get that too. Like when I don't wear makeup, I'm like, no, I just don't want to wear makeup today. I'm tired.
But did it for 72 days, and at the end of that journey, I wrote a poem, and that was like my first piece that I wrote, and it really took off. I didn't think it would, but it took off.
What was it called?
Am I ugly?
I remember that.
That's a strong-
Available on YouTube.
It's a strong title.
So that was the first piece that I wrote, and I thought, oh my gosh, I didn't think it was good when I was writing it because I was just writing it for me.
Yeah.
But then afterwards, when I kind of put it out there, and I saw the reception that I got from other people and how they kind of could relate to what I was saying, that's when I started to fall in love with poetry and getting deeper into my writing. Yeah.
I always thought that you was like a poet from like day one.
No.
That is something that you've been doing for years.
Poetry was dry to me.
I love poetry.
I wasn't checking for poetry at all. I wasn't schooled. I wasn't really excited about poetry at all. But I think it's just from then onwards, and then I started to research other poets that I liked, because I guess there's loads of poets out there, but there's a lot of poets out there that I can't relate to, and I just think, oh, this is just too complicated. Your words are too all over the place, and I can't focus on what you're trying to say. Or it's too I can't sit here and try and decipher what you're saying. I don't like that type of poetry.
Yeah.
I need something that's in my face, that's entertaining, and that I can relate to.
And you can just get it straight off.
Yeah. And once I found that kind of group of poets, I thought, yeah, okay, I could actually fit in here to do my poetry.
So who's your favourite poet?
My favourite is George the Poet. Another, probably that's a common thing that you're going to hear people say, but he's my favourite.
Oh, you heard that, George?
Yeah.
So what type of poetry do you do, and who is your target audience?
Okay, so it's women for one. It's just for the everyday woman that experiences the everyday stuff. I write about self-esteem, my walk with God, relationships, being single, being married, feeling confused, feeling alone, feeling afraid, all of those types of things. Yeah. My target audience is, I would like to say it's everybody, but I guess not everybody gravitates to what you do.
Yeah.
So, but I would like it to be, well, from what I've gathered so far, it is the woman who believes in God, kind of, but doesn't want to go to church. Or the woman who...
She's talking to me?
Yeah. woman who, who doesn't want to be bogged down with religion. Just get into God, getting to know what He says about your situation.
Amen.
Yeah, that's it. The everyday things that go on in women's life.
Yes.
Yeah.
I need this book then.
I received that. I received that. Have you ever taught poetry, or would you ever consider doing it?
Teaching.
Yeah.
I don't think I'm a good teacher, if I'm honest with myself. I'd like to say, yeah, I'll go out and do it, but I don't think I'm a good teacher, and I don't think I'm there yet to teach anyone.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess poetry is like a really individual thing, because if you sat down and wrote a poem, it would be complete to what you would write, so it's hard to teach.
It's true.
So,
Yeah.
to teach that, I guess.
And what inspires you and motivates you is not the same that's going to inspire and motivate someone else, and different backgrounds. Because for me, poetry is basically how I express myself. If I can't say it in words to someone verbally,
Yeah.
I will write down how I'm feeling.
That's it, yeah.
And a lot of my poems are like stuff that I don't want everyone to hear,
Yeah.
because basically they're telling about my experience and secrets and stories.
Yeah, and that's why sometimes I find it easier to write about somebody else's story, because that's so easy.
Because nobody don't know your business.
Yeah.
I guess the big thing in poetry, and as you said, as releasing your own emotions in it, it's hard to put pen to paper. That in itself is a journey, isn't it?
Yeah, learn how to do that is, definitely a journey.
Is there like a common structure to writing poetry? Like, do you like just, for example, you start off light and then you get to the nitty gritty and then you end light, or is it just whatever comes to mind, just write it down? There's not actually a structure.
You know what, it comes with me different ways. I could be driving in my car and something will come in my mind and I'll quickly get my notes out and put it in my notes. Or it could be, I'm really upset now. These are the words that describe how I feel, and work on these words. And then put it together as a poem. Or someone could say, I want you to write about X, Y, Z, and I would have to sit there and focus and write about it. So it's all different. Yeah.
How often do you write poems?
I would say sometimes I could write like 3 or 4 in 1 week. Sometimes I could not write any in a month. Sometimes it could be here and there. It all depends.
That's the flow of it.
Yeah.
So how do you think we can get kids and adults into poetry? Say if it's something that they may be interested in.
Yeah. It's just, if you see someone that's writing, or you maybe you see something in them, just encourage them. Encouraging someone. I had someone to encourage me. I remember when my youth leader asked me to write something for church. This is years back, at the beginning of my poetry days when I first started out. I was like, why is she asking me to write this? I can't write it. And I was really upset with her. I was like, why are you asking me? Or giving me dirty looks and, the eye, the side eye. Like, rude, like, why? What do you want me to do this for? And she's, you know what? I just want you to do it, and just do it. And I did it. And I thought, I see what she's talking about now. I see it. So just being there to encourage somebody to... And don't tell them not to think about how much money you're going to make. Just think about doing something that's for you, and that may actually help somebody else. That's it. Yeah.
Would you say it's now your passion, even though it was something you didn't want to do before?
Yeah. I didn't want to do that first, but
now it's your passion.
No,
You see how God works?
Yeah. And I was so upset at God for taking away CSG Cosmetics. And I thought, how is that going to replace my love for makeup and stuff? How is it going to do that? I couldn't understand what God was talking about. Thinking, you've taken this away from me and you're giving me writing in replace. That's so dry. That's the typical Christian thing that has to happen to Christian people. You have to sit and be miserable and dry stuff. And I was vexed. I was probably vexed. How could you take that away from me? But now I understand.
Yeah.
I understand now, and I can follow my passion. And it's not about money, and it's not about getting my face or my name out there. It's just about doing something that I actually love doing. Yeah.
That fly.
Oh,
Yeah.
you need to get that fly.
I know.
It is. Did I close it in my book?
No, it's over there.
We need to.
Guys, excuse the fly.
Yeah.
Okay. If you see us, some fly just came in.
Do you know of any classes or anywhere that provides how when it comes to poetry
Yeah.
and writing?
if you go into Eventbrite, there's quite a lot of stuff out there where you can just enroll for free. There's quite a lot of free stuff.
Really?
At any age, you can just get in there and they can just teach you the basics. Or if you already are writing and you just need a bit of encouragement, there's loads of things out there that can help you. Yeah.
Oh, that's really good.
So I know you perform a lot. I've been to your events. Probably one. But one does try to support the team.
You do.
Yes, yes, I do. I do share, encourage others, yes, as one likes to do with one's black sister. So, yes, I don't know why I'm talking like this. So, yeah, you perform a lot with your poetry and put on events. Can you remember your first performance?
Yeah, it was terrible. Absolutely terrible. It was the worst performance ever. So I just did the whole makeup thing, started to write, and I thought this piece, I was like, yes, it's my time to shine. Yes. And then I said to my mum, she's like the head of the women's department, can I please perform this piece of poetry at your event? So it's an event where all the women from the UK come together for this weekend. I knew the poem off by heart. I knew the rhythm. I was ready to go. I was like, yep, this is me. So they called me up, and I didn't think about how I would feel being in front of people. I didn't think about, did I practice being in front of people? I just thought, yeah, I've got this poem and I want to share it.
Yeah.
I got there and I saw everybody's faces looking at me, and I said the first line of the poem and nothing else came out.
That would be me.
And I looked at everybody and everybody looked at me, and I looked at everybody and everybody looked at me. And then the mother of the church looked at me and went, you need to start again, dear, start again.
I heard some birds flying back.
Oh, wow.
And I was so horrified and I had to start again. I started again, I did the poem, but I didn't do it the way I wanted to do it because I was nervous and I was embarrassed.
Yeah.
And there was nowhere to hide because it was a weekend. I had to stay in the same room in the same hotel. So after that, I went to my hotel room and I just cried and I cried and I thought, God, what am I doing? Why am I doing this? This is just a waste of time. I'm embarrassing myself. But obviously, it didn't end there. I kept going. So yeah, that was my first.
Wow.
Yeah.
And since then, when it comes to performing, how are you now?
There's never a time where I'm not nervous. There's never a time where I don't need someone to say, can you pray for me? Before I came in here, I had to call my friend. So can you pray for me before I come inside? Because I just don't want to do them. To me, this is the big podcast because I like this podcast.
Oh,
I don't want to embarrass myself. I don't want to embarrass the girls. I don't want to...
girl, you go, baby.
Yeah, I just... so yeah, I always need God. I don't have that confidence yet where I can say, yep, I can just do that. I'm ready for you. I don't have that.
It will come though.
Yeah.
It will come.
Because I can't speak publicly. I can't.
How many episodes have you done?
No. we're still nervous and we still, thankfully, we can edit.
Yeah.
Praise God, because, oh my gosh.
If there was like
If it
20
was
odd
right-
people sitting and we was on a stage, you'd be like,
Even our first episode where we had for colours and when we had all the guys there, it was just like,
you just signed up with like, you think, oh, they're looking at me.
I just try and pretend, which is advice she gave me, that I'm talking to friends when I started my YouTube channel. Like, just pretend.
Yeah, and you've got a YouTube channel as well.
Yeah. We was doing that together. We worked as well. We both started like on the YouTube together as well. And look at us. Look at God.
Look at God.
Amen.
Won't he do it?
That's mad. It's like it goes full circle. You see, that's why when you're on the way up or you're crawling, you gotta still keep those people with you and don't be like, kicking people out and dropping them just because you start.
Stay humble.
Yeah. Stay humble, because you're gonna pass them on your way down, okay?
And they gonna help you down.
And they gonna help you. So stay humble. The quicker you rise, the quicker you fall. Just right now we crawling, but we gonna get there. We crawling. So we gonna start walking, running and soaring and. So you're currently in the process of converting your book into audio.
Yes, I am.
Can we have a round of applause?
Thank you.
That's big. That's big.
Yeah.
That would be for me. I'm not big on reading, but I do appreciate
Right to this. Yeah.
That's it. I think because when a lot of people pick up the book, like me, I'm not really good on poetry books, and but listening, that's me. Yeah. So I'm in the process of getting that done. Hopefully soon it should be out soon.
So how is that process? How do you feel doing that? For you, is that easier than writing the book, or is it just as difficult or harder?
It's easier because everything's written down, but it's sitting down and recording and, like you guys know, editing, and I can't be going, I've just got to get the words out clearly so everybody can understand. So that's the difficult part, but I'm getting there.
Yeah, it's gone.
So far, how many books have you published, sorry? And are you looking to do many more in the future?
So yeah, I have published a book before, but I've taken that down because I'm not pleased with it, because it was like very early stages of my writing, and I don't think it was relatable, and I don't think it was my best work, so I kind of took it down. But yeah, I'm in the process of writing more, and on the audio book as well, I have more poems and more stories in there than what's in the book.
Okay.
Yeah.
Would you revisit the first book that
Yeah, when I get time I will, definitely. Yeah.
Has there been any times or moments that you found it really challenging on your journey with poetry?
Yeah. So I had a lot of pressure saying, since you're writing, you need to find your target audience. If you don't find your target audience, then you get a lot of people in your ear and stuff. And I thought, okay, I need to find my target audience. And how do I do that? So I need to be on social media more. So I got on social media more, and then I felt like, oh gosh, my posts aren't polished enough like other people's out there. So I learned how to do all the editing, getting my social media right, and then I started to compare myself to other poets and writers on Instagram. And once you do that, you kind of get lost because you start to look at other people and say, oh, yeah, that bit of them is good, that bit, I need that.
Measuring yourself by their standards.
Yeah. And a lot of the stuff that I was trying to draw from other people didn't suit me. Made me look ridiculous. And then I started to feel like, oh, maybe I'm not good enough. There's someone else that's doing exactly the same thing that I'm doing. Yeah. They're doing it a bit better. Yeah. So what's the point? What's the point of me doing it? But then you forget that, everybody's different. Everybody has different strengths and weaknesses. Yeah. Everybody, and there's enough people in the world to approach.
Like we say, everyone can eat.
Yeah.
Everybody can eat. We can all eat.
Yeah. And everyone's at different parts of their journey as well.
And what I'm trying to do is, and sometimes I forget that, okay, what you're trying to do is reach this genre of women. Don't try and be something else that you're not. Because when I started to try and be something that I'm not, that's when I started to get lost. Yeah. And that's when I started to feel low. And I think I wanted to quit.
You're straying so far from yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We've all had those moments where you just get lost in the source, honey.
Yeah.
Blinded by the lights.
Yeah. Blinded by the lights?
Yeah.
What lights?
She's funny. She's a comedian. Well, y'all know what I mean by the lights and the glitz and glamour, because everything that, all that glitters ain't gold, and that's what is most of the time that you think people's life, especially in social media. Well, we spoke about this in our social media video, that people put out their best,
the best versions
of themselves, and we can all do whatever we want on social media.
They don't put out the rehearsals. They don't put out when things are going bad. It's always
the good, and I'm living my best life. But you're not.
You lying.
So that's a lesson really to people, to not be discouraged by little challenges or even big challenges. If it's something that you really want to do, just go for it.
That's it. Yeah. And I think there was a lot of things that like you said, I wanted to just go for, but I was holding myself back because I thought, I'm not as good as they. I haven't got what they've got, so what's the point, kind of thing. And then you look at your following, you think 3 followers, 2 likes. I've just edited this video for 3 hours. Kind of thing. Yeah. And then you just like, what's the point? But then,
but look at you now, girl.
Yeah.
I'm not flying.
But you do not. Yeah.
You know what? I'm grateful to God for what I have.
Yeah.
Very grateful. Yeah.
Onwards and upwards, as long as you're growing and you're moving forward and you're not stuck in the same thing. And if you are stuck, it's just a little stumble, a little hurdle you need to get over.
Take your time.
Yeah.
But stay focused.
So, Chantal, what's your support system been like?
Okay, so I have my sister Dion, who helps me with videography, because
shout out to Dee. Love her. She's amazing.
She supports me with recording my videos, but now I've started to be able to do it on my own. Got my little setup.
Check you, girl. You're doing bits on it.
She graduated.
Canon.
Honestly,
Yeah.
Chantal is such a supportive person, so great. We've known each other from college?
Yeah.
College years
Yeah.
and church. And she's so sweet and so nice that if you need any help, you have any concerns, she's one of them people that we talk about here that uplifts you and doesn't see you as competition. It encourages you and motivates you and take it further. Okay, what can I do? How can I help you?
Oh, thank you.
Just giving you rose.
Oh, come to me.
Yeah. This is your moment.
Yes.
It's all about you.
Thank
And
you.
I don't know why you're trying to flip the script on us. It's about Chantal. Okay, this is all.
See,
you.
she's doing it already. She's doing it already. This is about you, girl.
Yes, I've got Dion. I've got other friends who can be really critical, who would say, if I've got a poem that I've written, I'll always get someone that's close to me to kind of read it. And there's been a few that I've written where my friends have said, this ain't the one. Delete. So I've got people that can be honest with me. I've got obviously my mom and my sisters and brothers who they're honest as well. So yeah, it's good. It's good. Sometimes it can be lonely because you two have got each other when you do this podcast. When you're on your own and you're writing, it's quite a lonely place, especially if you're writing about your own experiences. It's cringy.
Yeah.
It's really cringy, and sometimes you can put something out there and people might take it wrong or people might not really understand. That's the hard bit as well. But I always need someone to back me up because sometimes when I'm writing things, I need to be able to discuss it with other people as well, just to get my mind right.
Yeah.
So yeah.
How are the kids and your husband, how are they in this? Are they involved when you're writing? Do you reach them and
Yeah, so the last video that I did at home, it was my husband who was filming with the camera trying to get things together for me. The kids, I'm there reciting stuff to them. And they're annoyed. They're just not really into poetry. They're annoyed with it. But so that's it.
How do you find within the black community that it's received, poetry? What do you do? Is it been positive or negative?
My poetry, looking at my Instagram, most of the people that support me are not from the UK, they're from Africa.
Oh.
Really?
I would say 70%.
Really?
And then 10%, friends, family, cousins, people that are not really interested in poetry, but they're there to just support. And so the community, church-wise, church hasn't been going on much, but I have a good support system with my church. Obviously, not everybody agrees with my poetry, which is cool. But I'm okay. Yeah.
Poetry is art, isn't it? So it's down to interpretation, how people receive it. And that must also be scary and frightening as well, because that's your body of work. That you spent time and you poured your heart and your soul in, and then you put it out. Just leave it out there, and people just open to just judge and say whatever they want, especially on social media. So you've got to be strong enough to mentally prepare yourself that
you really do, and
everyone ain't gonna like it or receive it.
Yeah, you really have to be strong, and I'm not the strongest person sometimes. There's times where I've just cried and cried, and thinking, why am I doing this? Is this worth it? But then, at the same time, someone else is saying, oh, you know what, sending private DMs saying, thank you for what you've written, it's helped me. So then...
You think of that one person.
You have to take the reward from that.
And do it for that person. That's how we see it as well with this. We don't do it for lots of views or, people we do it for that person that gets the message, they receive something. It's something that they needed, and we gave it to them, whatever food for their, for their mind, soul, body. If they're going through something, they're struggling. Maybe they watched our depression video. Maybe they watched our self-love video. That black girl that doesn't think she's pretty, that says, "Am I ugly?" And then she realizes she's not. That's basically the thought and the motivation behind us putting out what we put out. If we can just reach that one person,
that's enough.
then that that makes us feel good, like we're doing something positive.
Yeah, I hear you. That's exactly how I feel. Yeah.
Well, that's it, and I think there'd be someone that's either into poetry or has thought about being into poetry. So again, its platform is for that type of person, for whatever trade or business person that comes on here that they could be interested in.
Yeah.
What steps can they take to get
there? Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So in terms of events, have you ever put on one of your own, or would you ever put on one of your own poetry events?
I was planning on doing a book launch, and obviously the whole coronavirus stuff happened, so I did a Zoom book launch, which I thought I would have 3 people on there, my mum, and my auntie and my sister kind of thing, but it turned out really, really well, and it turned out really well, and a lot of people were asking a lot of questions and listening. So yeah, and I just did it that way. So that's the most I've done so far.
So launch still pending, yeah?
Yeah.
We'll be there.
Yeah.
Oh, well, thanks. Yeah.
Are you planning on doing your Zoom events regularly, or?
No, because no one wants things regularly.
Don't say that. We're here every week.
I was here every week reciting poetry, talking about the same thing. I think people would just be very bored. Yeah, I want to do something else. I want to get the audio book done, and then I want to just get more poetry out there, which is not always in written form, just something else. Yeah.
Lovely.
Do you have any advice to anyone who might be struggling, who wants to write but's finding it like difficult?
Yeah. Just like me when I started to write. So I had my writing there. I had written everything, but I thought, okay, just do what I see on TV. I need to get a publisher to find me, or I find them, and they get my book out there, and they do this and that. It doesn't always work that way, and there's a lot of companies out there that say they want to help people who haven't got a publisher, and they'll come and you pay them a fee, they'll put your book together. Sometimes, with me, I didn't want to do that. I wanted to have full control, because I didn't find anybody out there to back me financially, which is fine, cool. But I thought, okay, what am I going to do? I don't want to have to pay someone like X £100, X amount of pounds to put my book together, and then they just drop me, and then what do I do then? How do I sell the book? So I thought, let me just take it from the beginning myself. So what I did, and I got my writing together. I got someone to proofread it, because I'm rubbish at proofreading, awful. And then I Googled how to be a publisher.
Oh my gosh.
Googled how to get my own ISBN numbers. Worked it out for myself. Watched loads of YouTube videos. Trained myself up. Got it done. Got the publishing side done. So I could just get it done properly. And then took it from there and learned how to do the whole delivery thing. And then, okay, so I had that done, and I thought, how am I going to market it? Obviously, my sister's a videographer, but I didn't know anything about creating content and getting it to look good, and like how you learnt with your camera. You got your camera there with your lights. Just start off slowly, get your little lights, do a little video, and then just Google how to use Photoshop. Google how to use whatever package you got. Sometimes I started off with the free packages that you get on your iPhone, and I did a lot of the videos and all the wordings and the making it look fancy by myself.
So would you say that you're now a publisher?
Yeah, I am.
Yes, honey.
So yeah.
Oh yeah,
Do the clips.
Yeah.
Because I need to write a book, honey. So
That's really
So
good.
it's not all about having money and having people to back you.
No.
Just get up and do it.
Yeah. Doing what you can.
Do what you can. Learn what you can. And I felt like a failure, because after college, my grades were awful. They were absolutely terrible. And I never went to university. So I thought, okay, this is a big dead end for me, because I'm not good. I just don't want to get into the study. I was lazy, to be honest.
Yeah.
I could have done it, but at that time, going to college is just about...
Plus, the interest wasn't as much there as you said in the beginning. So
Yeah, I had no clue about what I wanted to do. I was going to college, but I had no idea what I wanted to do. And I thought, if I go to uni, I'm going to waste a lot of money studying something that
You won't
for
use.
me.
So
No,
that's
no,
out
no.
there. Trust me, we're like that too.
Yeah. So I didn't want to waste any money studying something that I was trying to impress other people for, not for myself. I knew I'd never have gone to a career of the things that I wanted to choose. And I barely made it into uni. But then I decided not to go. But yeah, you just have to focus on the things that you love and just focus on getting that done right. And it's not about having like lots of money, it's just following your passion and taking it to as far as you can take it. Yeah.
So if it was about the money, we wouldn't be here.
yeah. And then when it doesn't work out, then you have to find something else that's about the money.
Exactly.
Yeah. Yeah.
Go with your heart. Go with.
I wouldn't even, like, I can't even think, what could I do or would I do to get money? Like, what, you know, people have options, or if I do this, it will get me the money, but I don't enjoy it.
Yeah.
I wouldn't even know what, oh, actually, I know what you can do. The things you can do, honey, is not for me.
So how have you come through the struggles of, like, have you had any downfalls along the way where you just thought, no, I can't do this anymore? Any like give up moments?
This morning.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Just felt like I've had it with this. Up and down, it's like emotional roller coaster sometimes. But I'm not gonna give up. No.
No. You've got a lot of people to reach.
Yeah.
And you've already got a following. So
Yeah. And I thank God for that. Thank you to everybody who has actually followed me. I appreciate it. Thank you
Amen.
for my day ones that followed me from the beginning.
That's right. I've been there from day dot. You know what I'm saying? Supporting the sister tick. Don't say you.
You followed me when you had relaxed hair.
I followed her when I had black. Oh, I followed her when I had
bring
black.
receipts.
Exactly. Okay. On her YouTube and her Insta,
Yeah.
I'll be sending them posting it on my statuses and stuff and my Insta. Like, follow, you know what I'm saying? I promote the thing, I support my peoples. I'm just saying, that's what we need to do. That's another thing. Like, when we're doing things in our community, we don't support each other enough.
Yeah.
Even if you're not going to buy the book, or you're not going to, you know, you don't want to read poetry, you're not interested, there's other ways you can show support without it being financially, like, affecting your pocket. Because I feel like when people are doing things, we rather support a stranger more than our own, like our friends, our family, our community. We rather see someone else win. And then when you get up there, then everyone wants to come, hey, come
support you then.
like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, I'm so proud of you, but where was you when, like,
With the struggle.
when I was struggling? Like the meme says, if we starve together, we gonna eat together.
Yeah,
So, y'all need to remember that. So that's what we need. We need more unity
In the community.
Oh!
You got balls. So, Chantal, would you like to read us an excerpt from your book?
Okay. I wasn't expecting that. But okay.
Live on a Trade of View.
Ooh!
Okay. This one I wrote, this poem is actually about me. This poem is about my writing journey, how I felt when I was writing, and some of the pitfalls I've had, and some of the ups and downs. Okay. Someone brought me some beautiful flowers once, but now they're dead. Not the person, but the flowers. You see, I always felt that there was greatness in my life, but back then I thought maybe it just hadn't quite manifested yet. I can't fully explain it, but it was kind of like something inside of me was letting me know that I was not just the average Joe. And this feeling wasn't egotistical, neither was it something mystical. It was kind of like God was letting me know that somewhere down the line, He had a plan for my life. So I found the courage to get up and go, and I pulled out my MacBook Pro and I started to write for the world to see, but that's when all the wilting began for me. You see, I started to question, if I'm royalty, then why isn't it recognised as treason? And people wanted to sabotage me for no reason. People talked about me and laughed like I was a stand-up comedian. And they pointed the finger while sitting on the fence, and I couldn't help but take offence. And the pain and embarrassment became so intense that I started to doubt, and I lost all confidence in what God had already given to me. Like Ray Charles, I failed to see that I was actually good enough. But then the fear of failure paralysed me so much that I started to wilt as I turned myself away from the sun. Now when I say sun, I mean Jesus Christ, the one and only who gives me purpose, but I found myself stuck in reverse when I should have been in first gear. Stick to the right path, the sun reminded me. But still I couldn't see who I was really called to be. I wanted change, but I felt stuck and hurt. The only change I could find was in the bottom of my purse, pounds and pennies, and to make matters worse, if there could be any, everywhere I went, I kept bumping into girls like her. Now, if you don't know who she is, she's that 24-hour face beat, eyebrows always on fleek, hair done all sleek. She's happy every day of the week. She struts around with her perfect bae, looking all like Kim and Kanye. Heads turning all day, no effort fails when she comes to slay. Perfect job and perfect life, bound to be the Stepford wife. Everyone loves her, she's always in demand, and to be honest, I just couldn't stand to be around her. Because she looked like a rose, and next to her, I looked like a dandelion weed. I started to question, God, why did you even plant this seed? Everything I tried to do turns out to be a mess, while everything she does turns out to be a huge success, and everything that made me get frustrated and vexed, and I ended up feeling depressed, because I started to feel that I was less than everyone else. And the more I compared myself, was the more my leaves started to wilt and die. See, I started comparing myself, but I just didn't know how to try. And I know this is going to sound a little cliche, but I'm just going to tell you anyway. If you want to be on the winning side and you always seem to lose, maybe like me, you fail to recognise that you have the power to choose. Choose to accept that no matter how hard you try, you won't please everyone around you. So you really don't have any other choice but to just do you. When you start to feel like you can't make it, when you begin to feel that you're worthless, choose to tell yourself your creator doesn't create anything without a purpose. Choose to find the courage to claim your confidence from the lost and found. Because trust me, you'll need it where God's taking you, your destiny bound. Choose not to compare yourself because it's all pointless, and believe it or not, someone out there compares themselves to you. Not understanding that it's an impossible task, because out of the billions of people in this world, there's only one you. Choose to be bold and step out in faith. Seek God and don't procrastinate. Don't believe me, then just try me. I'm correct like the ticks on my Nikes. Don't try anything, just do it. You're reading about someone who's already been through it. When I felt like breaking down and falling apart, God was the glue that kept me together, and that's why my heart belongs to Him. I'm not preaching to you. This is just my truth, so what are you doing to find yours? You have the keys to unlock your potential, so don't worry about closed doors. Because when your time is up, when your time on this earth is through, are people going to say you wilted or you bloomed? Because someone brought me some beautiful flowers once, and now they're dead. Not the person, but the flowers.
Wow.
I love that.
That was so good. That was so good.
Oh, thank you.
That was so good. That was really good.
So many things that resonate.
That's
as well.
very inspiring. That is very.
And that's the first poem in the book.
No, that's number 2.
Oh, okay.
No, that's number 2. I really wasn't prepared to recite anything.
I like that.
You never know what might happen when you come to a trade review.
You never know what you're going to get.
It's some poetry.
And the audio will be really good because the way your voice carries your poems as well.
So guys, that concludes the end of our video. We'd like to say thank you to Chantelle.
Thank you.
It's been a pleasure having you on our podcast. Shout out to our sponsors, Danes Catering, so you can get your catering, get your food delivered. Also, he does events and birthdays. Then we have Saved by Lex for your t-shirt printing and your mugs, and K.G Holistic Herbs, where you can get your Seamoss gel, organic, and also get your antiviral blend and your mucusless cleanse as well. All info is below.
Don't forget to like, share and subscribe. You can also follow us on Instagram. So until next time, guys.
Bye.